Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we will see how we can identify if a particular asset is a diversifier, hedge or safe haven on the basis of the Cmax. We will use Cmax as the threshold. We will run a TAR model, a discrete TAR model, and we will see how we can identify how a particular asset is performing. So in the Excel I was working on, right, this one, I already had the FMCG return data with me, and I had the Cmax also. So let me just take the FMCG data onto one second onto eViews along with the rest of the data. So let me create another sheet where I will include all the variables. I pasted them as values, so I will just copy and paste the date once again. Okay, so I need to put the FMCG return series here, and then we need the conditional correlation from this. So let me just bring the FMCG return series from 2007, 22nd January 2007 onwards. This is FMCG return. So so we will take it from here. So here we have it. I will just adjust the format. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so here we have it. Uh, I will take it to reviews now. So here we have Sensex return from 2007. We have FMCG return from 2007, and also we have CMAX. Okay. So let us begin by finding the conditional correlation. So we go to FMCG return, we go to Sensex return, we open them as a system. Okay, we go to, yes, so FMCG return is 1 and Sensex return is 2. We need to remember this. We, yeah, so we go to view, sorry, we go to estimate, we go to diagonal vec. Yes, we go to art, so now we have diagonal vec. So now take a few minutes, and now we go to view and we have conditional covariance. So we actually need conditional correlation. Let's go to conditional correlation. Yes. So yes, let's name it as CCOR, the conditional correlation. So now we have the conditional correlation. So we can just copy and paste it on Excel. Sorry. Okay. So now let's begin. So what we do is that we run a model. We run a discrete tar model. So please follow the steps along with me. We go to quick, and now we go to estimate equation. And here we write CCOR. Okay, then we write a C, we put a constant term. Then we write sensex return. And then we can give a one period lag. So we write sensex return minus 1. So we write, okay, and threshold equation. Our threshold will be our Cmax series. Okay, so discrete threshold, and this is how the variable is. Sorry, the name is CCOR12. Sorry. So I'm showing it once again. So we will write CCOR. So this is the name of the series. C since return and since x return minus 1. Write the method to be threshold, and then here we write Cmax as the threshold variable. So this is the model, and now we do okay. So here you have it. Now we need to copy this data on Excel for our analysis. Okay. So we will our understanding will be on the basis of this. Suppose there is a high stress market. Okay. And uh, then we have high stress market means, which obviously means that the Cmax is low. So from here we can understand that Cmax is lower than this. So this is the high stress market. So let's write high stress. And here Cmax is more. So let's write low stress. Let me highlight. Okay. So suppose in the case of high stress market, if when Cmax is low, if then CCOR rises, what happens? If the CCOR is positive, that means in the case of a high stress market, when the market is not doing well, the positive conditional correlation is rising, which is a bad thing, because that means that my asset is moving along with the market. The market is in a bad position, and my asset is copying the market. My asset is moving alongside the market. So then my asset will also go to a bad position. So then if CCOR is rising, then it is a bad indicator. And suppose CCOR is negative. So here I will write absolute CCOR. Okay? Absolute. Absolute CCOR. So suppose my CCOR is negative. Okay, that means my asset does not have much connection with the market, and when the market is doing very bad, then the negative correlation between my asset and the market is increasing. That my asset is moving further away from the market, so which means the market is doing bad and my asset is moving away from that bad market. That is a good thing. So that is good. Now suppose we write, so in the same way, when absolute CCOR falls for high stress market, if the absolute CCOR is positive and it is falling, we will be happy, right? So like my asset and the market had a positive correlation, they move in the same direction. However, that correlation is decreasing when the market is behaving badly, so I'll be happy. However, if it was negative, so my asset had a negative correlation with the market. So my asset and the market were moving in opposite directions. However, that negative correlation is decreasing. So which means my asset is moving closer and closer and closer to the market when the market is doing bad. Then I'll be sad about it. So that is bad. Okay. So now suppose it is a low stress market, which means my Cmax is high. It's a good market. So absolute CCR rises. Let's do the that case first. My absolute CCR is positive. Let's take the case, which means my market, my asset, and the market moves in the same direction, and the market is doing well, and that positive correlation is increasing, which means the market is doing well, and my asset is moving on the direction of the market when the market is doing well. So I'll be happy about it. So that is good. And suppose the correlation was negative. So the negative correlation is increasing. The absolute value of the negative correlation is increasing. That is when the market is doing well, my asset is moving further away from the market. So I will be sad. So that is a bad thing. So now let's see this. Absolute CCOR false. Okay. Suppose my absolute CCOR was positive. That means my asset and the market were moving in the same direction. And now the market is in very good condition. But the conditional correlation between the asset and the market is falling. So I'll be sad about it. No, the market is doing well, and when the market is doing well, my correlation with the market is coming down. So when the market is doing well, I will want that my asset copies the market as much as it can, but it is not doing that. So the correlation between my asset and the market is decreasing when the market is doing very well. So I'll be sad about it. So that is a bad indicator. And suppose it was a negative correlation, that my asset was very different from the market, and now the market is doing well, so the negative correlation is decreasing. That is, my asset is moving closer and closer to the market when the market is doing well. So I will be happy about it. So that is good. So this is we'll highlight this, and so that you understand better, I will write here market doing bad. Okay, and here market is optimistic. So I'll write market is pessimistic. Actually, it's better. Since market is once again, since market is pessimistic, let me do it in a bad place. Let me do it, yes, gray. And here, since market is optimistic, let me do it in a good color. Let me put green. So this is how it is. So this is how we will understand. So please remember this particular box forever in your analysis. Okay. So now let us analyze. So in period of high stress, that is market is doing bad, my correlation is negative, right? And so 1 minute. This is Sensex return. So at that time when the market is doing bad, if my correlation is negative, that is when the market is not doing well, the conditional correlation of the asset with Sensex has a negative relation. The coefficient is negative. It means as my Sensex rises by a particular value, then the conditional correlation goes on decreasing. So when the market is bad and my conditional correlation is decreasing, so we need to understand what is the direction of the, what is the sign of the conditional correlation. So let's not think on absolute terms. Let's think on terms of the, like the proper value of the conditional correlation, not the absolute value, the true value. So when my market is doing bad and my conditional correlation is falling, that is a very good thing, because when my market is doing bad, I would expect that my conditional correlation falls, that my asset goes away from the market. And when the market is doing good, I will expect that the conditional correlation rises, which is happening here. Right? This is a positive coefficient. That means my conditional correlation rises with the uh, change in the stock prices of the market. So that is again a good thing. So this shows that it is a good asset for us. Okay. So our asset is a good asset. So when the market is in a negative condition, when the market is in a bad condition, then my conditional correlation is going away from the market. And when my market is in a good condition, then my conditional correlation is going more and more and more towards the market. My conditional correlation is increasing. So for this, we need to also we can also divide the data set on the basis of the Cmax. We can sort it into two different paths. You can do a sorting, and then you can do a empirical survival function on the basis of that. So let us try to do that now. So our conclusion from here is basically that the asset that we considered, which is FMCG, it is a good asset, and the asset. So now let us do an empirical survival function. So let me just first copy it. Yeah, I have done it. So let me sort Cmax from smallest to lowest. Expand the selection and so on. So the what is the threshold value? The threshold value is 0.2193218. Give me 1 second. Hello, everybody. Uh, Let us continue. So, okay, they didn't find that value, turns out. So, what was that value? 0.2193218. Okay, so let me find it for Cmax. 0.3, 0.25, 0.2193. So, 0.3 positive, right? Yes, zero point 0.2. I think it is like near to this value, maybe. Okay, this is 2 1. Wait, no, wait, it is negative. Sorry. It should be a positive value. So let me first go to the positive numbers. Yes, 0.0. Hmm. Be somewhere here, I think. Yes. So what was the value? I think it is this value. Okay, 0.2193218, right? So 0.2193218. Yeah, it is this value then. So let me color it fast. Yes. So so the divisions are on the basis of this value. It is greater than or equal to. So for the greater than values, we will consider this one. Okay. We cut. Let me paste it here. Let me write. This is low stress market because high values of Cmax. So this is a low stress market, and this will be premium high stress. We copy this. Now we need to see the empirical survivor functions. Okay. Okay. First, let us see for the high stress market. Negative Cmax. Let's open CCOR. Let's go to view. Let's go to graph distribution, and it is on the basis of an empirical survival function. Okay, we will analyze this later. Let me just first just copy it. So this is, I think, for high stress market. Okay, so then we will do it for the low stress market. So this we did for the okay. So this we have done for the high stress market. Now let us just check once again. Now let us do it for the low stress market. Fine. Now let us do it for the low stress market. Positive Cmax. So here we have the CCOR. Let's view it as graph. So uh, we will go to distribution, and this will be a empirical survivor distribution. Okay. Now we can do our analysis. One. Okay. So let me begin with my analysis. Actually, for both the markets, the conditional correlation is positive throughout. Okay. So our analysis will be on the basis of this. The conditional correlation is positive throughout. How we understood? So there is 100% chance that the conditional correlation is more than positive zero point 0.2. I'm talking about the CCUR. So it is more than positive zero point 0.2. So conditional correlation is positive for high stress market as well as for low stress market. So now let's look at this. So now we have understood that the conditional correlation is positive. Now we will analyze these results. So the conditional correlation is positive, and when the market is doing bad, my conditional correlation is falling with the rise in the Cmax. my conditional correlation is falling during high stress period. Sorry, with a rise in my Sensex return, my conditional correlation is falling during high stress period. That is when the market value is pessimistic. My conditional correlation is falling during high stress period. So, which means we have this condition, the one that I have underlined. Please look at this, the one I have underlined. And in the case of low stress market, that is when Cmax is high, I already know that my conditional correlation is positive, and with a rise in Sensex return, my conditional correlation is rising. So my absolute conditional correlation is rising. So it is this condition. So, in both the cases, in the case of pessimistic market as well as in the case of optimistic market, I had the good condition, I had the good outcome. So, my conclusion is that this is a very, very good asset to work with. So, with this, I end my analysis for today. In the next video, we will learn how to do conditional correlation on the basis of an asymmetric response, and then we will work with conditional correlation in the case of an asymmetric response model. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope this particular interpretation was clear. And if it is not clear, please write in the comment section. I will make another video on this interpretation. Thank you so much.